Hello everyone, welcome to another learning time with Miss Blessing. In this video, we're going to be learning to divide by 10 using the place value grid. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to divide by 10 using the place value grid. Come along, let's learn together. Now, before we proceed with today's learning, I want you to have a go at these questions. 10 tens equals how many hundreds? 100 ones equals how many hundreds? 100 times 4 equals, and 4 times 100 equals. Okay, pause the video right now and have a go. Welcome back. I bet you are able to answer the questions. Okay, let's see if your answers were correct. Give yourself a thumbs up if you got each one correctly. So 10 tens equals how many hundreds? 100. 100 ones equals how many hundreds? 100. 100 times 4 equals 400. And I bet you know that 4 times 100 also equals 400 because in multiplication is commutative, okay? Irrespective of the order, the change in the order of the numbers, the product remains the same. So 100 times 4 is 400, 4 times 100 is 400. Let's proceed with today's learning. Now, when we learned how to multiply by 10, we understood that the tens column is 10 times greater than the ones column. The hundreds column is 10 times greater than the tens column, and the thousands column is 10 times greater than the hundreds column. And we also learned that when we multiply by 10, we move one column to the left. Now, let's find out what happens when we divide by 10. Now, when we divide by 10, the hundreds column is 1/10 the size of the thousands. The tens column is 1/10 the size of the hundreds, and the ones column is 1/10 the size of the tens column. Now, to find 1/10, we divide by 100, and when we divide by 10, To find 1/10, we divide by 10. And when we divide by 10, rather than moving to the left when we multiplied by 10, we move to the right because division is the inverse of multiplication. So when we divide by 10, we move one time to the right. Let's see how this happens with an example. Now, just a form of um, reminder of what we discussed. When we multiply by 10, we move one place to the left. When we divide by 10, we move one place to the right. Now, let's look at some examples. Now, I want to divide 430 by 10. I have 430 divided by 10. Now, first, I'm going to represent the numbers in the place value grid. So in 430, I have 400. So I've drawn 4 counters here. I have 3 tens. I've drawn 3 counters. And I have no ones. That's why the space is empty. Remember, we are dividing by 10. So we are going to move each counters one column to the right. So my tens column, I have 3 tens, so I'm going to move them one place to the right. It proceeds to the ones. My 100 columns, I have 400, so I'm going to move it one column to the right, and that goes to the 10. Let's see what this looks like in the next slide. Here we are. I've moved my numbers one place to the right, one column to the right each. So the um the 3 tens moved one column to the right, the 4 tens moved the 400 moved one column to the right. The 0 has already moved away because it's a 0. There is no number there. So we have 430 divided by 10 equals 43. I hope you understood this clearly. Now, practice, practice, practice. Watch the video all over again. Create your own questions. Create your own divide by 10 questions and see how you are able to answer them. I will see you in my next video, and this is me saying bye for now.